Today on Do's and Don'ts, Cultural Etiquette, our topic is touch. An African American male goes into a convenience store owned by Korean immigrants. He gives a $20 bill for his purchase to the cashier and waits for his change. She puts the change down on the counter in front of him rather than put the change into his hands. What's the problem? The customer is upset because he interprets the cashier's not touching him as a sign of discrimination because he's black. But traditional Korean and many other Asian countries don't touch strangers, especially between members of the opposite sex. All cultures have rules about touch, starting with who you are allowed to touch. In the U.S., we touch strangers of both sexes. Shaking hands is a fairly common way of greeting a stranger. Islamic cultures don't approve of touch between genders, even handshakes, but approve of hugging and hand-holding amongst those of the same sex. In the U.S., we don't usually hug or kiss a stranger, as this kind of touch signifies familiarity and intimacy. However, in Argentina, both men and women kiss each other on the cheek as a greeting, even if they are meeting for the first time. In the U.S., hand-holding and kissing are usually reserved for romantic relationships. Age is also a factor in touch. In the U.S., adults may kiss children on the cheek or head, and children sometimes kiss adults on the cheek. Cultures also forbid certain kinds of touch. For example, in Islamic and Hindu cultures, touch with the left hand is seen as a social insult. Many Asians don't touch on the head or shoulders. In the U.S., pinching or patting on the knees or thighs is considered a pass, and in the work environment, it is not just inappropriate but considered a form of sexual harassment. All cultures, and people within cultures, vary as to the amount and kind of touch they enjoy, but we can make a few generalizations. Some people, such as the English, German, Scandinavian, Chinese, and Japanese, tend to be more emotionally restrained and have little public touch. People from Latin America and the Middle East tend to be more emotionally expressive and express this by more frequent touches. So there you have it, some do's and don'ts about touch. As you can see, it's a very touchy subject.